Hey, this is Victoria with another reading log, and this week's reading assignment was the Newbery Medal winner, and I was able to find the 2018 winner, Hello Universe, written by Erin Kelly. And it took some work to find the illustrator, but I found the illustrator eventually. Found the illustrator eventually. This story is very interesting. It is a viewpoint of 4 different children who all kind of collide together through the universe. And the theme throughout the book is there's nothing that's by coincidence. It is fiction. The contemporary, there's a term that we used, the contemporary realism fiction, where it seems like it could be real. Like if this story happened in my house, like I would believe it. There is Virgo, who's shy and quiet, and he gets made fun of a lot by the school bully, and even his parents have an affectionate nickname that they'll call him Turtle, and from his point of view, you hear how he just dies inside every time they call him that. He just dies a little bit more. There's Valencia, which sounds like a great name. I love that name. She's strong and fierce and independent, but she's also deaf. And one of my favorite intros, the second paragraph you have of her, is she talks about how one of her classmates gave her a book of famous deaf people, and that's how you find out that she's deaf. And her internal thought was, that's really rude. I would never give you a book that was famous blonde people or famous people who try to cheat off my spelling test. And so that sarcastic and wit and humor is there with Valencia as well. There is Kaori, who is such a dreamer and a wild child and sees she's a psychic, gives out her number as a psychic, and palm reader, fortune teller, big into zodiac signs and helping others and connecting, and she's kind of the guru that gets them together, even though it's more of the universe. And then there's Chet, who is the school bully, and he especially likes to pick on Virgo. It's interesting to go through the story through his mind too, and you realize just kind of that bully perspective. Sometimes when you're on the other side, you wonder what does a bully think? Like, what makes them think that they can do this? And you kind of see the world through their eyes, which is very interesting, just like seeing the world through all these other different characters, their standpoint and their views. Kind of as you read, you find out more about the setting and the placement, and it kind of reminded me of my neighborhood. There's woods in my backyard growing up, and my brothers and I would explore all the time, and we'd find friends on the other side of the neighborhood, and that's kind of how all these characters meet each other. They meet in the middle of the woods, and something happens that kind of forces them all together in an unexpected fate, thanks to a certain bully, Chet. It's about 300 pages, but the font is pretty big. There's a few little detailed, like, chapter heading drawings that Valencia does like to draw, and that's how she kind of talks her way out of getting to go on adventures, is she goes to the woods and draws. And so it kind of just depicts, if Valencia was to draw a little something for each chapter, that's what it kind of looks like, as well as this cover. When we've had reading logs, I haven't been able to find books right off the newest ones. I was really excited for this. An activity I thought would be pretty neat. I don't know how relevant kids are into this, but it would be to figure out their zodiac signs and gather amongst themselves as classmates which signs are together, and then to see how they're different, how they're alike, and if the sign descriptions, if they feel like it's accurate of who they are. So anyway, that is my brief overview of the story Hello Universe, written by Erin Kelly.